All right, let's get down to business. So, I have been doing some research and whatnot and looking up this stuff about Mortal Kombat, this new movie that's coming out. I've talked about it in one of my videos. I cannot remember for the life of me which video it was. It's just somewhere amongst, I have like 50 videos now, so that's cool. I've got like 41 followers. Don't forget to smash that subscribe and whatnot. I like Here's like an introduction if you're new to this channel because I've been getting some new followers. I talk about like stuff like I like. Mostly I game while I'm doing it. I post highlights sometimes from Apex Legends to poker games. I really like poker. I like pool. I might play some pool games. I might play some Call of Duty. I'm into first person shooters and MMOs. I might play Skyrim, stuff like that. But today we're going to be discussing the Mortal Kombat movie from a real Mortal Kombat fan. This is a part of a series that I'm creating, a real whatever's fan. Like if it's something that I really, really like, which falls under the category like of games and stuff, maybe movies, maybe anime, if it's mostly about that and stuff and whatnot, if it's not like a problem, if it's not a big issue. Like I've made a video about anime like Seven Deadly Sins and it wasn't a fan because it was a bad thing. It was horrible. Like, but the Resident Evil, like despite how bad Resident Evil's going, like I still am not gonna like give up on the franchise. It's still something I really like. Like I still have yet to give up on Silent Hill, and Silent Hill gave up on itself a long time ago. Like y'all remember when they were like, we're about to have a Silent Hill game, and then it's just like it never came out. Like a lot has happened, but let's talk about the games first. A little background. So out of the 19 games there are in the canon, I've only played 10. So that's more than half of 19. So miss me with it. Y'all can say I'm not a real fan or whatever. Like it is what it is. So I didn't play the first Mortal Kombat game. I did play the second Mortal Kombat game on this thing it's on the PlayStation 2 called Midway Arcade Treasures 2. Like honestly, that was the coolest. It had a bunch of games on it, including this game called Rage, and you would like fight as dinosaurs, kind of like a Mortal Kombat. You just fight to the death. It's cool, like so cool. But I decided to be poop diddly scoop and go to Xbox when Xbox, they're literally giving us nothing. Like literally giving us nothing. Literally saying you're gonna pay double. Like that's why everyone was like, we are literally not gonna pay for double. Like we're barely sitting here paying $60 a year for a subscription to play Xbox, like to play with people, when PlayStation players can play with people for free. And what they're paying for, the subscription, is like exclusive. It's like exclusive club. Like all the best players are playing PlayStation and PC, not Xbox. Xbox, we are literally a joke. We have been the joke. Y'all, we're disgusting. Like people, like I'm a part of this demographic. It's upsetting to admit, but Xbox sucks, and it's like they're getting better because of this Bethesda thing and all this whatnot. But y'all need to do better. Y'all need to make some movies or something. And like I said, hire me. Like I promise, call me up, text me, like email this account, like put a thing down in the description. Like I'll help you make some. Like I already have like this thing that you can do for Elder Scrolls. Like hit me up and we can talk about it. Y'all really could make a series on Netflix or something, Elder Scrolls. Like I really don't know why y'all aren't picking up the ball. Sony has like made games that look like movies. Uncharted, God of War. God of War has been their bread and butter for a very long time. What y'all got? Halo? I never played Halo. I'm an Xbox player like for 10 years. For 10 years I've been playing, decade, and my gamer tag is like 5 years old. And I've been playing way longer than my gamer tag. And you guys are still not giving us exclusive games. The only exclusive game you have is Dark Dreams Don't Die, and that's D4 for people who don't know. Y'all might have heard of it being referred to as D4. It's an incomplete game. They're selling cosmetics for real money, in-game currency, for a game that's unfinished. It's one of those games that you can walk around and play a little bit, kind of like The Walking Dead, except no one cares about these characters because, like, we haven't had a chance to care. No one wants that. No one wants that crap, honestly. Like, D4, incomplete game. Y'all were, like, putting cosmetics in the store, in the game store for that game. A bunch of, like, skins for characters. Like I said, don't quote this on me. I think it came out around the time The Walking Dead Telltale series came out, because it's kind of like that. You can go a little bit places and you gotta click on the ground to walk. I hate that so much. Like, freaking stop. No one wants that. No one likes that. If anyone likes that, you stink. Who wants to click so that you can go somewhere? Like, one big reason why I'm not going to play Very Little Nightmares is because you got to click. I'm not going to have to run away from something in addition to that. Like, click to get somewhere. It's super duper annoying. But, D4 is all we get for exclusive games. It's incomplete. Like I said, I wanted to know what happened, and they never put, like, the next episode. It's episodic, by the way, just like, what's it called, just like the Walking Dead Telltale series with Clementine. Like, but I'm super getting off track. Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 I played on that PlayStation game with a bunch of arcade games. The next one is like Ultimate Mortal Kombat. I didn't play that one. I didn't play Mortal Kombat Advanced, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat 4, Mortal Kombat Gold, but I did play Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which I do believe should just be the next one after 4. Should be 5. Like, that should just be it. I don't know, this whole Gold and Trilogy and all that, like, could care less. I wasn't really into the story until I was forced to get into the story it was either Deadly Alliance or Deception. I do believe it was Deception, which is chronologically the 12th installment. Honestly, there was this character that, like, literally was kind of like a background character that they made a main character, and they kind of made the main characters, like, basically cameos for his story. You would see them and you would talk to them, and it's like, oh, that's cool. Hey, I know you. But he didn't know them, so he wasn't starstruck. Some people he was, because he knew them, but he didn't know these particular people. It's like, who are you? It's like, okay, I'm Reptile, like, you know, but he wouldn't know they were Reptile. Like, it was really cool. That story, that way that they were doing the story before was really cool with Deadly Alliance, how they had to fight together. Quan Chi and Shang Tsung had to work together, and then Sub-Zero and Scorpion, they kind of like did that in the movies, but I'll talk about the movies at the end. The movies that are already here. After Deadly Alliance, Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition, I did not play, but I did play Deception, which was, like, is my second favorite one, because they've got chess combat. Like, you can literally make chess pieces out of the characters and play, like, and then fight. Like, it's so cool. Like, they should have brought that back. Please, if you're listening, Ed Boon, y'all please put your chess combat back in the games? That would be such a cool side thing. And King of the Hill is really good. I love King of the Hill. Don't take King of the Hill out. That's the only thing that's keeping me there for, like, online and stuff. I'm not gonna play, like, one-on-one someone and people not see me. It's just like, please bring back chess combat, please. I beg thee. But so the next one is Mortal Kombat Unchained. I didn't play that one, but I did play Armageddon, which is the 14th. Armageddon is single-handedly, even though you can't go online, or if you could, it's offline right now, you probably won't be able to play, but single-handedly the best Mortal Kombat game you've ever made, because it has every single character at that point ever created. It's the whole screen is filled with every single character ever created. You can play as anybody. And you can make your own character. And that's what I did. I made a dark-skinned dragon queen. Yes. Yas. Dragon Queen. And I'm not talking about no pale-skinned Khaleesi get killed by your own nephew. Like, he would have been Dracarys a long time ago. He would have been Et a long time ago. Like, I don't understand why she let him live. I don't know what, like, I might do a Game of Thrones thing on the anniversary of its downfall, if I remember. I have to look it up, but don't hold me to it. But Armageddon's really good. The next one is Mortal Kombat versus the DC Universe, which was great. It was a great game. It's got a great... It's just like, oh my goodness, it's so great. You guys gotta, like, play it. Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection. I never played Mortal Kombat. The rest of them, I played Mortal Kombat 2011, X, and 11. I played all those. The bosses throughout all those games were from Goro to Kronika. And I do believe they were doing good with the bosses until, like, there really isn't really a time where I was upset about the bosses. Shang Tsung was a good boss leveling up to Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn's kind of like he's really stupid, honestly. He's kind of like a dumb muscle jock guy, while Shinnok is kind of more, he's kind of like Havoc, in the sense of, Havoc is the actual character, in the sense of he is strong and kind of smart. They kind of dumb him down later down the line, but Quan Chi was like the best villain. He like held no guard. Like, he's straight up like it's crazy. And then when Shang Tsung and Quan Chi are together, it's like really cool. Onaga was a really good... Oh my gosh, Onaga? Are you serious? Onaga the Dragon King? Blaze was one of the dumbest. Like, they just literally, like, made a random character and had him on fire, and that was the final boss. Like, and then he was kind of big, but it was just, like, they had to make him look like somebody you could fight, not some big ol' huge thing you couldn't. The biggest thing you've ever had to fight was, Motaro or something. But, honestly, Blaze was the worst, and it's horrible, and I think that's one reason why Armageddon was obscured by history, because Blaze was that game's final boss, and it's just like, you do all this, you fight all these people just to, like, fight this dude who's on fire, that if you get close to him, he burns you. Like, it's hard to kill him, and he's got, like, literally, it was really easy to beat him, but it's, like, on hard, I think it's really hard. But, from what I can remember, because it's been literally, like, 14 years, I think he was pretty easy. He wasn't anything special. If he was hard and annoying, not hard as in good. Like, Shao Kahn was hard and good. I really wanted to keep playing until I beat him with Liu Kang in story mode. But with Blaze, you don't really want to try to beat him. There's really no reason to want to beat him. I mean, the whole Armageddon thing is the end of the world. Everyone's fighting each other. That's why they bring everyone back, because everyone was brought back, and whoever got to the top got to keep whatever reality they wanted, which is cool. Dark Khan was in the Mortal Kombat vs. DC universe, like Dark Stride or whatever his freaking name is, from the Justice League, literally, John Snyder or whatever his name, Snyder's cut that came out, him, the enemy, and Shao Kahn literally merged together. I think it's hilarious. I really do think it's like a joke, like, it's not a joke as in something that is bad, but it's a joke as in it's very entertaining to see, like, are you serious? You're gonna, like, put these two together? Like, it's insane. And, the last one's Kronika. I just feel like when I heard Ed Boon or whatever that guy's name is talking about this character and how they were like, oh, it was gonna be a man and then she's a woman now. It's like, oh my goodness, y'all could have made Shinnok a woman. There was no they really didn't have an excuse to wait this long to have the big bad be a woman. Even Onaga seems like a feminine name. they could have made the dragon queen. She could have looked masculine regardless. Like they make Shiva look masculine, very masculine because of her race. And they're strong and that's just their thing. They could have did anything, but they just the way he described it when I saw the video, it was like, even when he was talking about Jade and bringing her into the fold, it was an afterthought. They made Sindel. Sindel was originally a good person, and then when she died and got revived, she was evil. And that's like happened to all of them basically. But Kronika was by far one of the most disappointing, up there with Blaze, solely because it's just like the way like I said, the way he described it, it was an afterthought to make her a girl, and she's like, oh, that's perfect. It's just like, it's kind of not, because these new gods are kind of boring in the sense of, like, if you look at every single character if you go to Armageddon, the roster, and look at every single character that's ever been made, y'all, even though y'all didn't put much effort in the names, like Kinara or something, or Nitara or something, is like Katana. It's like, y'all didn't really try. Tanya, like, y'all didn't try with the girl names at all whatsoever. Just saying. We see you. We know that this is a misogynistic world. We know that this game was made for a demographic. That's why all the breasts are large and ridiculous. And the way that y'all did Li Mei, like, come on. But Kronika is like, I don't know. I could totally tell that she was going to be a man, because first of all, she's covered up completely. And I don't know if there's a subliminal with that too. Like, what on earth is that supposed to, like, the way y'all did the girls, it's just like, are you guys trying to move forward? Because y'all are already in the hole with the way they look. Y'all covered up their bodies to a point over the years. And you also have, alternate costumes. So I don't understand what is up with Kronika's outfits. And I haven't played it long enough. I haven't played the last one long enough, because the storyline is boo-boo. The storyline is boo-boo. And I'll talk about that when I talk about my favorite. Like, honestly, like, this whole timekeeper thing is super annoying, and I hate time travel. The only time I actually cared about time travel was the butterfly effect and things like that. Like, that's why Life is Strange was really interesting to me, despite the character flaws and issues with each character. Like, duh. Like, I know. Okay, I know that Chloe and Max are dumb and they do dumb things, but, like, I don't understand why. I'm not even talking about it. I'm not even getting into that. Let me digress. The issues I have with the journey of Mortal Kombat. I didn't do enough research to know who's making this. Like, I don't know who has the rights or what's going on with that, or if Ed Boon or whoever dude made this has any say in what happens. But the aging in the timeline is just wrong. This is a timeless situation. Like, there's a lot of things from the past, but it's just got this timeless essence to it. That's like, hey, how about we just, like, keep people the same age, especially since Edenia people don't age. Like, Katana's like 1,000 years old, if I'm not mistaken. They don't age the same as humans. Just saying. I know my lore sometimes, so I may not be like the master of Mortal Kombat lore, but I know a thing or two, and I know that Edenia, the women are like really old, but they don't look it. Why are they having children? Like I said, like, this is timeless, so time shouldn't be going by, and Like, why didn't Sonia have children with Jax? Because it's like I said in a video before, like, they work close to each other. Like, they're gonna, like, fall in love. Like, honestly, that there's no excuse about that. I'm, like, not the one to promote, like, whatever y'all want to talk about, the implications of Sonia and Jax being together. But y'all already did that. Y'all already made them colleagues. Y'all already made them close knit, not like relatives. Okay? So Jackie Briggs should have been Jackie Blade Briggs. Cassie Cage shouldn't exist. I just don't think that having Sonya and Johnny Cage together is really good. It's pretty disgusting. First off, it's not character development for a man to be with a girl despite his character flaws. And it does nothing for the girl except make her look like a fool. Johnny Cage never changes. He's still the exact same way. He's just older and like a sort of wiser, but wiser in the sense of he knows when to keep his mouth shut sometimes. Not even all the time. And Shiva is getting strange looking. The very first rendition that I've ever seen of Shiva was really great. I don't know why y'all didn't keep that. Like, she's straight up really good. Like, her design is really good looking in the third game. And I know it's old, but still, like, if you look it up, it's just like, it's really good. And it just over time gets really ugly. And it's like, I like the color. I like that you're making her darker. That's fine. What I don't like is the way you made the nose. The eyes are really beady. You're giving her less hair for some reason. Like, why can't she have long locks? She looked very, despite her masculinity, she still had feminine features and quality, and you're just like taking them away from her. It's pretty gross to me. And then where's Nightwolf? All the majority of the timeline, like, Nightwolf kind of falls off. A lot of characters fall off, and then you guys exchange them. Like, Scarlet comes back after years. Tanya was there for like 2 seconds, and then she comes back at like, and we're supposed to be like, what's good? Home skillet? No. Where was she? Like, I'm not really into it enough to know that particular lore about where Tanya was, because I don't read the comics. I'm not a comic reader. It'd be nice if I had like a council of people so that I could like talk to them, and when I reference comic things, I could talk to them about it. But my alley, my lane is mostly video games with a minor in, movies, series, anime. So I don't know where Nightwolf has been, but he was very prominent. He actually served a purpose in 10 with souls and all, having to do with whatnot. But the last thing I'm going to talk about that I didn't like was the fact that they like shoehorned a gay character in there. Like, stop making characters their only personality trait being their sexuality. That's not how you make diversity. Why don't you talk about the sexualities? Like, I really thought that Raiden was gay, and not because he hung out with any particular person, but like his aura, like, but whatever. Just make a random character gay when you could already talk about the characters you already have. Like, Sonya could have been gay if you weren't gonna make her have a child with Jax. Like, any person could have been gay, but y'all literally like made these characters the children. Like, oh, well, Jackie Briggs brings the blackness, and Cassie Cage brings the millennial, and then this dude, Takashi, whatever his name is, I really don't remember his name, but he was a good character. Let's let him bring in the gay. Like, honestly, like, that's what y'all do, and it's real sad. Like, we know from the comics, I think Molina is bisexual. Why didn't that take into play? Not just her death, Devora kissing her on the lips and her dying. That's It's pretty disgusting. I really just checked out of the series storylines when people started dying and then people started coming back and then people went back in time. When you can go back in time and retrieve people, it ceases to matter. That's why I'm kind of like half in and half out with the like MCU, because first off, I loved Loki, and I'm glad that they're bringing Loki back. There's a lot of people who I'm like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. But it's just like, why do we care about people dying when we can just go to another reality and get somebody? Like, what's stopping someone from finding Thanos in another reality and killing him? Unless you guys just snapped him forever in every reality, which is something I would have done before I turned to dust Tony Stark. But that's just me. Another thing is they can go find Tony Stark from another reality, can they not? But I don't know. I feel like the only person that could do that would be Loki. Oh, and I forgot. And like another thing that I checked out of this series, the cyborg sidelines, like not cyborg as in the Justice League, but cyborgs as in freaking Cyrax and Sector. I can't believe you're gonna like make Cyrax black, and then we're never gonna see black Cyrax again. Like, we only see him as a robot. It's just like, one good thing, like a lot of good things. I have a lot of good things to say about the series, but one thing for certain is I never really had to worry about implications, or I'm not Asian. I have Native American in me, some Scottish, and I'm black. So I can only say that I never thought that Jax was a stereotype or anything, and I don't believe that Jax being with Sonya would have any negative implications as long as it was dealt a certain way, like as long as he was still the same person as he is without Sonya. I feel like it was like a really bad thing that they didn't put them together. But whatever. I don't think like Nightwolf, like his name's Nightwolf, like Liu Kang, what the whole, like all that. I personally feel like it wasn't racially charged. I feel like their characters and the like the traditional fighting styles that they use and the designs are so cool. Jax is a very prominent character throughout the story, along with Liu Kang, Kung Lao. I wouldn't consider Katana. She actually had a little bit of skin tone. She could have been Asian, a darker Asian, like Filipino maybe. Could have been played by someone. I don't know, but it's just like, I felt like Molina, they always gave her a darker skin tone for some reason, but I'm fine with that. I'm literally fine with that. Molina is one of the most powerful characters of the series. She always comes back. She's one of the most unique. She's one of the most prominent. I have felt nothing from this. The only only thing that I can see on my radar isn't regarding race. It's regarding sex. And, like I said before, I know what the demographic was for. I didn't get anything from how the girls looked because it wasn't for me. It was for the boys they were trying to attract for this game. And with all the blood and gore. The blood and gore got me. The action got me. The fighting styles got me. I think it's the coolest thing that you could switch out fighting styles. That's so cool. Like Praying Mantis and all that. Like, it was really, like, the trajectory was amazing. But it started going downhill with the rest of the last 3 installments. And I really don't know where we're going to start with this movie. But we'll see, you know. So let me tell you the games that I liked from greatest to least. And then I'll start talking about the movies that were already out before this new one that they're talking about. Like I said, Armageddon is my first one. I made my own character that I created. I don't remember the name. I just remember it was She was a girl and she was tall and she had a tail and wings. It was really cool. Mortal Kombat Deception, I mained Ashra. Boraicho was fun to play. Lee May, aka the press lady, I played her a lot. Nitara was very good. And Onaga, the Dragon King, superb. Last I played Molina. And in the chest game, I played Baraka and Ermac mostly. Ermac is one of my mains that I just main the entire time. I played every time there was Ermac, if there was an available time for me to play him, I did. Mortal Kombat versus the DC Universe has the best story by far, and I think it's because it's timeless. We're not talking about nobody's kids. We're not talking about anybody having kids. We're talking about the people right now, what's going on, how we're doing it. Dark Khan is hilarious, like I said. Obviously, I played Superman and Batman, sometimes Joker, and I liked Joker before it was cringe to like him. Now, if people say, oh yeah, I like Joker, it's like, look at them sideways. From the Mortal Kombat side, I played Scorpion, and because he's always easy to play, since he's one of the main ninjas, Sub-Zero, Reptile, you can button mash and like do every special they have. Katana is the same way because she's one of the women ninjas. And Raiden was OP, Baraka and Shang Tsung were like my side characters that I would play in that game. Mortal Kombat 3 is my fourth favorite. It's very old. I played on PlayStation 2, the Midway Arcade Treasure 2 game. I played Sindel and Shiva. They were my favorites. They're still my favorites. Cabal and Nightwolf were my side characters. Cabal is always good to play. He's very easy to play. And he's really fun. And I love his stuns. Like, if you can stun, you can, like, win. Mortal Kombat 2 is my second favorite. Molina, Katana, Kung Lao, and Baraka were the characters that I played. My sixth was Deadly Alliance. It's got a very, very, very good story. One of the best stories. I played Li Mei and Nitara. Great names, by the way. Didn't really put any effort into them, but whatever. Nitara has a very cool backstory. I don't know about Li Mei because I don't remember even like looking at her. I just literally like played her when Molina wasn't available, I think. Mortal Kombat 2011. This is where the story went bad. When you use time travel, things get crazy. Like, the reason why I liked the butterfly effect so much was because it actually showed what would happen if you, like, moved a leaf 1 inch in the past. It actually changes everything. The crazy, exaggerated version of that was interesting. And that's why I liked Life was Strange, because it kind of did the same thing. Honestly, why are they, like, having children? Like, all the games before didn't, like, rely on the offspring of the great ones to just have relatable characters. Cassie Cage is, like, the definition of, like, unhand my childhood, you corporate scum. Like, please. Why are you using Cassie Cage as, like, a millennial, like, dude rad totally, like, and have a selfie, like, having it, like, come on, like, please. Please. And then she's like Stockholm Syndrome baby because Johnny Cage is a loser and did not treat Sonya with respect. Like, she didn't deserve him to be like that. Like, he didn't deserve her presence at all. Johnny Cage just should have been single and should have died single. Like, he died in the movies. Spoiler. But, Jackie Briggs, like I said, should have been Jackie Blade Briggs, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, getting rid of the Johnny Cage Johnny Cage Sonya Blade thing, and also like making Jackson Sonya together, like make it work, make it happen in the game, like make it happen in the movies, even if it's like a fling or if an affair, make it happen, like do it. No implications. You have my seal of approval to do it. Do it peacefully and do it tastefully is all I ask. Katana as a ninja main, like, along with Scorpion, Sub-Zero. Molina has always been easy to play, but Katara in this game is one of the hardest to master. So I made Devora. Like, she's pretty, like, easy to play. Kota Khan is the best character aside from the Dragon King, which we never see again. We never see him again. He was like, y'all did so much and y'all worked so hard to, like, make that character move, and he's so big. I don't understand why you bring him back. Shao Kahn for, like, the millionth time, but Onaga never came back. Whatever. Kota Khan is like Shao Kahn 2.0. Shao Kahn is ugly. His body is like something to look at, but his face is disgusting. If you've seen under his mask, it's disgusting. Kota Khan, he's like okay, but it's just like it doesn't matter because he can shapeshift. Like, I always loved myself a shapeshifting, like, Beast Boy. He was so cool when I was younger. I was like, oh my gosh, Beast Boy. But I didn't like that he was a vegetarian because I'm not. I liked Aaron Black, but not how they spell Aaron. They spell it like Iran, like Erron. It's just gross looking. Goro is so cool and is a classic combat character. Kung Lao is my fallback if I'm losing because he's like easy to button mash. His combos are real easy to do, and you can just uppercut when you spin around is fine. My knight, like, honestly, the next one I would have to say is the Mortal Kombat 11. Like, everyone's getting older. It makes me sad. It makes me sad for my life. I don't want to get, like, older and, like, crusty. Like, who wants that? They bullied them, the people that made Mortal Kombat, to bring back Molina because they were like, nope, 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 nope. And they were like laughing and making a joke. And what you're not going to do is exploit us and not return. So they returned on it because we as a people are powerful. Like, yes, Xbox, every fandom has toxicity in it. But our toxicity level is like the pH is extreme, boy. Okay? Extreme. Because it's so acidic up in here. It's like so acidic. It's just like lemons on salt on salt. Like that's what we are. Like, honestly, like I've been like that. Like, I've been toxic. I haven't been racist, which is a lot in the community. Like, I'll just be playing Xbox and I'll just hear like the N-word and I'm like, why? Like, just you really don't have to do that. Like, your parents really don't know how to raise you. But let me digress from that. I use Kota Khan a lot, Devora, Kung Lao. Jade has always been iffy to me. Like, the button mashing has been real hard to do with Jade until the Mortal Kombat 11. The new gods suck in terms of the design, like, because the way y'all made these characters, it seemed like it was like a afterthought. Like, literally, like, type in all of the other characters except what's that boy's name? I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Mocap. It's crazy. There's literally a character that's like those guys. Mocap. Don't like look up Mocap. Like, that's a literal character in canon. I'm not gonna tell you what he looks like. You just gotta look him up. It's crazy. They did that. Like, they literally are really lazy. And you can tell when they're lazy and when they really want to try. But Raicho is a very unique character that fits into this, like, fits into the genre, fits into the canon. He fits into everywhere. It's like a puzzle piece. These new gods, aside from Raiden's brother, they don't look like they belong in this game. And that's really strange when there's like 98 or 97 characters in your canon. That these are the last characters you put, like, after all these years, with all the technology increase, y'all are gonna make these bum looking characters. Kind of strange. Where's Onaga? Bring back the Dragon King. Oh my goodness. Bring him back. I really command you. Like, honestly, like, bring him back. Like, a lot of people be like, oh, bring back Li Mei. Like, they just want to look at her chest. Like, what I care about is fighting style. I care about power. Okay? I care about technique. Okay? I care about relevance to the plot. And I feel like you can make Onaga relevant. And you don't have to really add much else. And another thing, the reason why I thought Onaga was a girl is because they made it seem like he was laying eggs. And if he's laying eggs, he's a girl. He has ovaries or something. Like, I don't know. I just, like, something made me think Onaga was going to be a girl before I saw him. I love that Sindel and Rain come back, but I feel like they should have been more, like, there should have been more storylines in Adenia, like, in dialogue between Sindel and, you know, her daughter. Like, she comes back and she kind of never, like, talks to her that much. And Rain and Katana, you know, because they were once betrothed. Yeah, that's right. I know the lore. I know that they were once going to be together. They never had kids. I think it's interesting. I mean, Katana and Liu Kang are together and they don't have no babies. But whatever, go off with Cassie Cage and whatnot. They're making Shiva look strange, like I said. Spawn's too OP. The Joker is way more whack than Jerome from Gotham, which I will probably be making a quick bit about Gotham and how it was ruined with Jerome's presence. Kung Lao is always an easy fallback for button mashing. And that's basically it for the games. Let's talk about the movies now. Both are really strange. They did the best they could for the time they had, what it looks like. Overall, I would say it looks pretty disgusting and it's pretty gross. And they kill off major characters, but whatever, I guess. I guess it's not going to be Mortal Kombat unless someone dies, but like, the least you could have done was like had it to where canon people lived, because it makes no sense that Johnny Cage dies. It just makes no sense. But I guess they didn't know where the games were going at the time. Regardless, it just made no sense for him to die. I'm like fine with it because he's like ugly and gross and disgusting and I hate him. He's really strong though. I know he's really strong, but he's like, he really needs to just like take a flying leap. Do I have hope for this rendition that's coming out? No. I've discussed this before. It is illusion to think that people are blind and people are colorblind. To say you're colorblind, you neglect people's experiences and what happens. You can literally say there's no racism because I don't believe in race. Like, that's what they will say if you let them get away with saying that I don't see race. So let's just put that on the table. Let's just whip it out and put it on the table and say, we have eyes. Everyone has eyes. We can all see. So now that we get that out of the way, let's just take that sweat and wipe it off our brow and just get down to the knit grit. I've seen the trailer for this movie and right away I already noticed. Let's just look, shall we? Okay, so if you go online and type in Mortal Kombat, this new movie, you'll find what everyone looks like. So, Sub-Zero, I guess. Like I said, I'm not Asian, so I haven't, I would believe someone who is Asian would look deeper into things that are taking reference from. I'm unsure what clan Sub-Zero is supposed to represent, so I don't know which Asian nationality or ethnicity he's supposed to truly be. The next person is Sonia Blade. Anglo-Saxon. Fine. Just a Saxon. Throw a wig on her. Call her Sonia Blade. There's nothing really distinctive. There's nothing distinguishing Sonia Blade from Betsy by the Yard other than her outfits and her personality. So let's see what Jessica McNamee can bring to Mortal Kombat. Australian actress, of course, from Australia. Oh my goodness, Sissy Stinger from Molina. First off, I would like to say there are implications when you put a black woman in a place or in a position to be not human, or if not human, like an Amazon is not a human, but Amazonians are not disgusting creatures. I do see the implication they're doing, and they're portraying like giving this woman, particularly this black woman, this role. Personally, she could be black, she could be Asian. I really don't know. I can't tell. But she's got the darkest skin out of the whole cast other than Jax. I do not see Jade here, so that's pretty interesting. Maybe that's why. And another thing, Katana and Molina are twins. Despite them looking nothing alike this whole entire time. Maybe the last time they made Molina and Katana, they look alike. The last game they made. But never in history have they ever looked anywhere similar, except maybe back when there was the arcade and they were just putting different colors on the girls to make them look different. I'm fine. Like, it's not just every Anglo-Saxon girl gets to be white and pretty and happy, and then the only black person of the cast or only ethnic person of the cast is some hideous monster. Yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with it. But personally, me, Mortal Kombat, like, I would have rather had Nitara be black, but we'll get to her later. Hiroyoki Sanada, Scorpion. He's in a lot of things. He's Asian, that's fine. Again, I don't know what his clan is supposed to represent. He's Japanese. So if Scorpion's clan was not represented or taking reference from Japanese culture, I kind of find it like insane. Like, all you literally have to do is your research on Mortal Kombat and see which one represents which one, and then get those actors and actresses to make it fair. The next person I see is Cole Young. I have a problem with this. First off, we've got this Anglo-Saxon main character. Like I said, he looks sort of Asian, but it says a British actor, of course. He's post-colonialism type of ethnic. Like, that's just it. That's just really it. A lot of times in the Get Out movie, in Us, like a lot of movies that we try to get the main character to be any ethnicity, they get someone from England and they try to make them into the role. Like, I'm just really annoyed at this Louis Tan, because first, he's replacing Johnny Cage, so now you're going to get the incels talking about get woke, go broke, and oh, look at you. Who's Cole? It's like, who is Cole, though? Y'all are literally doing this to add another person so that people have someone to relate to. And if you can't tell the story as it is, stop making up random characters for people to relate to. This is Mortal Kombat. We don't need to relate to anybody. From the looks of the cast, they're all qualified. Like, for the most part. This dude that's Louis Tan, he straight up is in a lot of martial arts things and does, like, he's confident in this movie. He literally could have been somebody else. How many people are on the roster? People that already exist. I don't see Reptile. I don't see Baraka. Like, is Shao Kahn in this? Like, those are just the people that people know. Like, there's Mocap. There's Stryker. Stryker and Cabal are actually cops. So why wouldn't Stryker be in this? And if anybody's going to be white, it could have been Stryker. I would have loved to seen Baraicho. Kenshi, dude, Louis Tan reminds me, like, he could be Kenshi. Like, Noob Saibot, Smoke. I do believe Sector is Asian. Chameleon has been depicted as a woman and a man. So I really don't see why we have to have Cole Young and his peanut gallery of a family in a fighting movie. Like, this is Mortal Kombat. This is Mortal Kombat. If you weren't prepared to make this movie, from something that is gonna either get a lot of backlash or a lot of praise, then you shouldn't have stepped up to the plate. This is unacceptable. You really don't need to add an extra person in this Mortal Kombat thing that we need to root for, because honestly, I don't care about Cole Young or his family. Oopsie doopsies. And then the audacity, that guy who's making this is like, well, I didn't want Johnny Cage to be in this movie because he kind of needs his own movie. First of all, he's not that great, okay? That's his whole thing. His whole shtick is being that person. And he's been in almost every game, and he needs his own movie though. Wouldn't you think Liu Kang should have been the main character of this movie? Wouldn't you think Liu Kang would have been the main character of this movie? Why did we have to get Cole Young? Why did we have to get Anglo Young? Why did we have to get Anglo-Saxon Britland Young? Why? Why couldn't Shang Tsung have been the main character? Because guess what? Shang Tsung isn't the big bad. First it's Goro, then Shang Tsung, then Shao Kahn. But if y'all actually knew what you were doing, you would actually know that's how it went. So I don't see Goro on the cast, so I'm just to assume he's not there. Allison Young, here we go. Allison Young is what, his daughter? Another Australian actress? We have actresses and actors everywhere on earth, and y'all are gonna choose the most Anglo-Saxon places for literally, like I said, I really could have cared less if every single person in this movie was Asian, other than the Sonia Blades and the Jacks and Jade. Even Jade, she could have been Filipino. Cabal, duh, but he's covered up. He could have been black, just like you made Darth Vader black until he took off his mask, because you knew Anakin was going to be white, but you made him black. You literally are trying to whitewash as much as you can. Nitara was never, to me personally, I don't see white when I look at Nitara. I see, if anything, Hispanic or some sort of Asian. I'm sorry. I have eyes. She's not Anglo-Saxon. She's just not. And she's a vampire. She could have literally been black. She could have. But y'all can't do that. Y'all, it's the whole problem we have. The whole problem that exists is default is white. That's why you guys are completely fine putting any Anglo-Saxon in any role, because you think the default person on earth is white. That's a problem. But when black people take different roles, like Anne Boleyn is about to be black, y'all are all talking about, oh, look at this inaccuracy, this historical inaccuracy. Y'all don't care about historical inaccuracy when you put white people where ethnic people should be, where Asian people should be. You don't care because you think white is default. And that's just not true. Liu Kang, I personally liked the Liu Kang look in the very first movie. I feel like Liu Kang and Shang Tsung were very well done in the very first movie that they made. I'm fine. I was fine with them. This guy's all right. I haven't seen him with long hair, so we'll see if he can cut the mustard. This Jax, I feel like he looks fine from a picture, but I personally, in the movie, to me, he doesn't look buff enough. That's just me. He doesn't look beefy enough to me. He's an American actor and former fashion model. He's a former fashion model. Pretty interesting. Another thing that I hate to see. Like, y'all couldn't have gotten... I know there are a million people, like, there are countless people that you could have looked at. You get certain particular people, like, he had to be a model. This is a nitpick. You couldn't get just a person who acts correctly. I am just so anticipating watching this movie to see what y'all have done. Kano, let's see if Kano is actually the right nationality. Australian? We'll see what he sounds like, because Australian, like, he's always talking about cooking stuff on the Barbie, so I guess Kano's from Australia. We'll see what he sounds like in the movie, because when I saw him, I think I saw him in the trailer, it was bad. I don't know who Keith Cook is supposed to be. American martial artist. I'm sure he's probably one of the, like, the stunt doubles. In regards to the first films, by the way, sidebar, if you play Mortal Kombat Annihilation and just have certain characters there just to be standing there, like, really, honestly, we will revolt. But I digress. In regards to the first film, you really missed the opportunity to make almost every person on the cast someone who actually knew martial arts. So you didn't have to do these cuts and moves and ooh, I can't see, and ooh, and then dead. Like, honestly, I'm so sick of that. Like, there's this movie called Fury on Netflix. I'm about to drop a video about all my Netflix picks, and one is Fury. There are no cuts in the fighting scenes. And when they are heavily misled. You know what I mean? Like like illusion. It's really good. And also, a woman is the main character. And there's a woman who's also the enemy. They're really good at fighting. Even if they weren't and it was edited, it looks like it. I'm so sick of American, because what I watched, I think it was either Korean or it was not here. It was in a different place, and you also have to watch it with subtitles, and that's fine. But honestly, y'all literally missed the opportunity to make the whole cast. You have money. If you have enough money to make a Mortal Kombat movie, you have enough money to find every single cast member to be able to fight. I expect fighting in this movie. I don't expect tears. I don't expect, like, any intercourse. I don't expect anything other than blood and gore. If I don't get that, I'm not accepting it. I already see that you're doing this whole Cole Young, Allison, Emily Young, so it's like a whole family we're supposed to care about. I don't. I hope that they all explode in this movie. I really do, because I don't want to see it. I don't want to see happiness. Like, this is Mortal Kombat. If you didn't know what Mortal Kombat was, you shouldn't have made the movie. You should have played a few games, maybe slept on it, had a few nightmares, and then maybe you would have been ready to actually make a Mortal Kombat movie. But I already see that things are not going well. The only person that I believe has any sort of qualifications to be in a Mortal Kombat movie is the dude playing Scorpion, maybe Molina, and that's it. You got a supermodel or a former model to play Jax. Like, Jax is some sort of model. Like, he has to be some sort of model. Why does he have to be some sort of model? Why is Natara some Anglo-Saxon? Why are we caring about somebody else's family? The Youngs, I could care less about the Youngs. Like, and they all look Anglo-Saxon except the man. That's my input. Like, honestly, if you go back to looking at in the Mortal Kombat cast from a long time ago, really, they did a little bit better. Shang Tsung, I felt like, was a very good Shang Tsung. Liu Kang was a very good Liu Kang. Sonia Blade was okay. Like, she didn't bring nothing to the table at all. She was just Anglo-Saxon, showed up Anglo-Saxon and blonde, and that's all she needed to do. Raiden, I think he was an Anglo-Saxon. He's like French or something. So I didn't like that. Like I said, if you're going to make one person that's not supposed to be what they're supposed to be, make them all Asian. Make them all Asian except the exceptions, which you know good and well, because you have to not be an idiot to know that Sonya Blade's white, Johnny Cage is white, Jax is black, and Jade actually looks Indian. In Mortal Kombat 11 and Aftermath, which I didn't play, she looks very close to Indian. Very, very close. And, you know, Indians in Asia, so this is probably the case. So hire an Indian woman. And I don't mean Christopher Columbus Indian. I'm not stupid. I know that this is not India. So I really am not going to keep on keeping on with that nonsense, nonchalant nonsense. Honestly, I do mean from India, because that's what things mean. I can't be native Chinese if I wasn't born in China. What do people look like native Indian when they're not from India? We had Cyrax, and then y'all made him into some super robotic bot. Like, thank you. But he's got dreadlocks coming out the back that look like little wires, right? So we're just supposed to accept that? Whatever. Y'all need to get it together. I'll watch the movie, but all these people this is not looking promising, guys. Like, you literally had like 4 or 5 Anglo-Saxons in this movie. I don't see Katana anywhere. I don't see Kung Lao. And then we already know we're not getting Johnny Cage. So here's the quarter of the man talking about how Asian people are replacing them in the workforce because Johnny Cage isn't here. Here we go. Let's sit back and watch his beard go, like, bobble up and down. No one wants to hear his dirty, disgusting opinions about games that I'm pretty sure he's never played. He's just the voice of all the incels put together. But yeah, I'm really mostly upset at this girl trying to be Natara. I don't know her I really don't know her past, so she could very well be Anglo-Saxon. I personally believe she was Hispanic or Thai. She could have been Thai. She could have been Laotian, honestly, but whatever. She could have been mixed. She could have been mixed with Thai and Laotian. She could have been, literally, you could have made anybody ethnic be in this movie as Natara. But y'all decided to go the Anglo-Saxon route because that's default, right? She was a vampire. She had wings coming out her back. Like I said, she could have been any ethnicity. And like I said, I do understand the implications making Molina black. I would have been more fine with Natara being black than Molina because Molina is the identical clone of Katana. So that means Katana has to be black, which means Sindel has to be black because Shao Kahn is canonly without skin tone. Pasty. So that's where we're at now. That's where you're making us be at. Honestly, it would be perfectly all right if everybody from Adenia had some sort of skin tone, because guess what? It's not Earth. It doesn't necessarily have to be the way y'all will send white supremacy, like always flowers and daisies, always putting Anglo-Saxons where they ought not be. But like Sindel being black, that'd be amazing, especially since her hair is such a big deal. Such an important part to her character. That would be awesome. Or how about this? Indian. How about that? Y'all didn't think of that, did you? Y'all, when you guys think of Asian, you think of the pastiest, lightest skinned, palest, moon side skinned you can think of. You don't ever think of darker skinned Asian people. Ever. You don't. So don't lie, you don't. But that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure that I'm gonna get a lot of comments about this one. One last critique I have about Molina, her teeth are far too primed and beautiful. Honestly, her teeth need to be like distorted, but I understand because she wouldn't be able to talk. Really, factually, people like quarter of a man are going to be upset because it's super appealing, more appealing than what she looks like in the games. And even in the games, you guys have been slowly over time making her mouth look less like Baraka's. Now her teeth are real small in the last video game you made. And it's also the incel's fault because if a woman doesn't look beautiful, they don't want to see her. So it's like, honestly, it's you darned if you do, darned if you don't. If she's ugly, then she's too ugly and she's made fun of. If she's not ugly enough, then they're complaining. But I'm also like, yeah, y'all need to really get it together with her mouth. Like, I've seen Face Off. You need to find some people who are really good with that type of stuff and makeup and whatnot. Get it together. But I'm honestly on the fence. I'm really on the fence with this because no video game movie has ever been successful like successful enough to like be talked about in history. Sonic was trash. Pokemon was garbage. The Mortal Kombat movies were like less than trash. I wouldn't say they were trash. I would say they're a decent starting point, which it seems to me like he actually did watch those movies, because there's some people, Chris Kasamasa, he played Scorpion in the first one, so he had to have known. And then Hiroyuki Sanada, dude, was in the first one as well. Joe Talisman, it seems to me like this is basically a sequel to the first ones, because they were in the first one. So I don't know if he actually did watch them, because you can still watch them and be ignorant of the plot or know anything about this. But I think that you should actually, just like in the first one, I think you should actually watch the movies and play the games. Actually have someone on your team that actually knows the games. Like I said, like if you're going to manipulate us and use what we like against us and make a movie, the least you can do is make sure these movies are up to snuff. And this is definitely bad. Like, the first two were definitely not anything to smile about, but it was a good starting point. Where we're at right now, what I'm looking at is a disgrace. I see a lot of Anglo-Saxons that don't need to be here, because guess what? You've got literally almost every 90% of all movies that's got nothing but Anglo-Saxons in it. Y'all really didn't need this job. A lot of Asian people could have used these jobs. Thank you for taking that away from them, especially since this video game is heavily influenced by Asian cultures. And I also do not see Nightwolf. And here's another deal. Don't come to me and say, well, what do you want every single Mortal Kombat character in this? No, I don't. I want the main ones in here, and Nightwolf is one of the main ones. So if you guys are trying to open up for a sequel, stop sequel baiting right now. Make a movie that will stay on its own, because M. Night Shyamalan tried that crap with Avatar: The Last Airbender, and look how that turned out. He thought he was about to have 3 books worth of movies. Like, he thought he was about to have book 1, book 2, and book 3. He's got book 0. He has nothing, because guess what? No one wants it. And we're not going to want a sequel to this garbage if you make it garbage. The first thing I would do if I had this in my hands right now, I would take Cole Young out, take Allison Young out. Why you even here? Whatever. Emily Young out. You out too. I don't care if you're a mixed family. You're out. If you wanted a mixed couple, you should have put Jax and Sonia Blade together. But since you didn't do that, you don't get to have it now. Like, have the actual story. I'm here to watch the story. When we don't want the same story, you guys insist on making the same story. Like Aladdin, you made the exact same story. Lion King, you made the exact same story, Hollywood. But now that we're like, yes, keep to the plan, stick to the script, keep it on point. That's it. That's it. Literally, just go back, play the games, and make a movie from that. Make it to where it's just told from one of their perspectives. Liu Kang, you've got options. You don't need to add no Cole Young and his family and the family of Peanut Gallery. No one wants that. No one cares. Why do we need to know their families? We don't know anybody else's family. This game, this genre, this whole franchise isn't about family. It's about carnage, gore and blood, and fatalities. That's what I wanted to see. And I am 100% sure that is not what we're going to get. We're going to get teary eyes and sad, and his daughter's probably going to die in the beginning of the movie, and he's going to go on some vendetta and kill people that we like. Honestly, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for the vendetta. I'm not here for Cole Young to be going against characters that I like. I want to see the characters interact without Cole Young and his family, really. And just adding this dude and his family really takes away from the characters that we have. And it's pretty strange that Nitara is in this. Out of every single person, every single character that you've ever made in this canon, that's over 90 characters, why Nitara? That's pretty interesting. I'm really interested to see why Nitara is a part of this. She is a vampire, so we'll see what she does with that. We'll see if she actually has the range, because it doesn't look like, to me, she looks anything like Nitara. A lot of these people are just like, well, let's just get someone Asian. Let's not even care what they look like. Like Liu Kang, when Liu Kang has this particular look to him, the dude in the beginning, the very first movie that they made, his jaw was very square because Liu Kang's jaw is very square. This dude looks baby face and he looks like a TikToker. Like, honestly, it's just whatever. Like, I have eyes, you have eyes. Let's stop acting like we don't have eyes and you just put random people. And like I said, Jax, you got a model. It's like, okay, great, you got a attractive looking guy, but it's just like, I'm not saying that Jax is ugly, but I'm saying that he was like in the military. He like, you could have got someone that looked like he was in the military, not a model. Like, go off. I'm done. Let's have a conversation about it. I personally am kind of upset that Cabal is in this. He was a cop, and I don't personally believe that Cabal is going to have his true story told in this. There's too many characters in here, adding the Cole Young family, in addition to random people that come later in the timeline, like Nitara. Like I said, this seems to me like this is going to be a prequel. But let me know what you think in the comments. It looks like from the commercials, ironically, the commercials say prequel. Because by the first movie a long time ago, Sub-Zero and Scorpion were not only working together, but they were already turned into their, like, former selves. Like, Scorpion has not always been a demon. He dies and comes back. A lot of that happens, but when he dies and comes back, he actually has particular powers, while he's not just a revenant like Liu Kang when he dies, or a zombie like in Armageddon. But I'm done. I can't talk about this anymore. I'm already like sweating. I can't look at this any longer. The whole Cole Young thing, I'm really just going to close my eyes and close my ears when I see him on I really don't want to see him or his wife or his child. None of them. Like, they can go take a flying leap out of my Mortal Kombat movie. That's it.